Divine Sunshine coming to you with your Patreon exclusive. Isn't it nice to be in an exclusive like VIP thing of where you get the messages before anybody else does? So I will see if I will release this into the public or for the Divine Unisouls things. I might, but right now, I am so happy that you all are here and participating in this. Benita has also told me about having you all everybody rewatch the video that talks about the storms are coming. She says she feels very strongly. She was guided to go back into my vault 1 year before where I talk about the storms, and it's just coming. A lot of this stuff I'm kind of pretty much fast forward a little bit more ahead of the curve, ahead of the current, especially being a Cassandra, which means a person that's about time that it could be able to prophesied about things that are happening. It is very important that, you know, that's one of the things that I stay ahead, especially choosing to be in the leadership role for you all, that I look and see. Sometimes I have the things happen before you all do. It's just like a leadership. They're showing me that one is safe to love, where the divine feminine energies and the spiritual goes beyond and before the divine masculine energies. It means those who are more so into the world, and me being more into the spiritual, I go before I've searched to survey the land, and so I could be able to come back and tell you all the news about what's happening. So enough on that. I am going to go ahead and let's dive right on into and see what's happening with the divine masculine energies as well. So with the divine masculine energies, I have this. I maybe should shift these over to the other side, but that's all right. I'll probably just start stacking them. Okay, so what's the overall energies for the divine masculine energies right now? We got the world in reverse. So we got the world in reverse, and it's the darkness here. So there's really some darkness going on that the divine masculine is really not being able to understand about what is actually going on. Does this look similar to what Benita is talking about? This storm is coming. It looks like something is a brewing. It's interesting. It looks like an eclipse here too, where we have the earth is passing in front of the moon. So it's very indicative and very poignant as far as the times that we are in now. There's at the end, I think about my DM say, I don't like those songs sitting on the dock of the bay because it seems like it's death. Well, this looks like it's at the end of the dock of the bay right here. And so they're walking there. But in this pond, in this river here, if you're able to see it, it's also is use my senses, all that. Okay, that one. Yeah, in this for this is lotus flowers. Lotus flowers are very infamous for knowing that there's growth going on underneath the surface, but you do not know exactly what it is. Okay, you do not know exactly what it is that's going on, but you do know at the end of the day it's submerged into this beautiful lotus flower. So again, there's things going on. This darkness is going on. This storm that's a brewing is helping for the divine counterparts or the divine masculine energies in the world to come out spiritually. Water is emotional, in all this emotion, to be able to create this shift so they can be able to come forward with this beauty, this new beauty. That's coming forth. Again, for the moon, the world going in front of the moon, to me, is like this transition, this transformation from the world into really moving into that divine feminine energies, which would be the spirit, because the moon is housed the divine feminine energies, which is the energies that's happening within the divine feminine. Okay, within, which represents the spiritual, what's going on there. So that means we're moving more so from intuition, which is I'm using my brain to get me out of this stuff, and moving to more of a phase of using our intuition and awareness, not being intuitive. Intuitive to me is that, but sometimes it relies on instinct. And so a lot of times we have to watch that, because if we so relying on our intuition, which is again, intuitive is awareness, but there's a difference in it that they're saying that we've used like a mix of it, and it's more so that the spirit wants us to shift out of that and move into more of an intuition, more of a spiritual thing, than more so of it, like my instinct is using me in order to be able to understand the shifts of the energies, because a lot of us have gotten to that point that that's what we actually use. We don't know that we're not really using spiritual intuition, we're using our intuitiveness, and that intuitiveness has been trained through trauma and through pain to be able to react or to really understand the shifts of energies, and that is trauma based or pain based, and that's something that I'll talk to you all about, that we've got to get ourselves out of it. That's even with me with my gifts. My gifts, I went through a period where it had to shift, where it was more trauma based intuition, where even when I was doing my readings with you all, it's more so of me basing upon, okay, I got this feeling, and okay, what can I base that upon? Oh yeah, this time that it happened between myself or something, an incident that happened in the world, and now I can be able to relate that, and now I can be able to tell them about it. Okay, and that's what creates like that big shift in my readings from back then to now, because if you listen to it, it was a lot of stuff that, okay, ego based, I could go by that, because it's going back to again about the hurt. Okay, well, if this shows up in the cards, then let me tell them about a time in my experience where he did yada yada yada, or this person did yada yada yada, and I could base it. Now that it's more of a shift of my reading, is not from that place of instinct or my instinct taking over, but it's moving into the intuition, which is more so a spirit, where it's allowing spirit to talk to me. So I hope you understand the difference, because a lot of the times we get that kind of mixed up, and it's like really because we have such a keen instinct for things based upon what has happened to us, that we can say, okay, yeah, I could tell through the energies, somebody had an argument here. Why? Well, I could base that upon the arguments that used to go between my mother and my father. So I can tell I'm basing it upon that. And it's not from the spiritual base there too. It's a way we have to marry both of them together. Okay, just kind of letting you know what's happening as far as us in intuition, and how we're making, got notification, how we're making that shift. What are the life changes that's happening with the divine masculine? What are the changes that's happening with the divine masculine? The life changes that's happening with the divine masculine. Ooh, it's his finances. I would say in the finances, that will be too about the money part, but it's also about him as far as his in abundance too. Finances to me is more like also the material things. So the things are changing as far as in what he calls his abundance in his world, such as the car, the house, the person that he's married, that can be more abundance. The kids, the family is my abundance. Financial to me is the tangible set things. Abundance is to me is like the other side of the coin. So abundance would be more so you're talking about more the spiritual things. You know, I got my health, I got love, I got my spirituality, I got this mind, you know, that can create things. I'm innovative. That could be also abundance too as well. But what we're seeing here is this financials. So these things about what's going on in the material world for the divine masculine is going to change. How he's communicating that to himself, to him in his spirit, about what's going on with that that's changing. How he's finding that this part of him being his bliss. How he's finding that being a part of his center of his heart. Those things are going to change. And that's what's going on, because again, what is he really, what this spirit is saying, what are you really truly taking stock in? What are you truly investing in? It's time for you right now, through this storm or whatever's being brought to you about this worldly things that's going on, for you to really look and see about what are you truly investing in, and is this truly really lining up with who and what you want to be, or what you want to be noted. Because like again, my TM was saying a lot of times, he's like, well, you know, I feel like if I die tomorrow, I want to really know what am I going to be noted for. Well, it's like, what have you been investing in putting into the world? What have you been investing in putting into spirit? And then you shouldn't be questioning too much about that, what people going to be thinking about me if I pass along. So my thing is like, what have you been doing? and you should be working on as you live, so that when you do pass away, you don't have that many regrets. It's like, I did it all. I did it. Either you're going to be like my license plate said, Tina's way, I done did it my way, or you're going to be saying it's a lot of things that I could have did differently. So why not? Let's try and start doing that now, making that shift. For the divine masculine energies, right now, Spirit said they're working with them on this energy, which is Boris, knowing where one's true identity and allowing life through a storm, cleansing, learning, and patience and endurance, hardship, and discomfort. I'm going to share this with Benita because she's the one. It's this storm. So this storm is coming up. I just said that. I see if I'll be nice. I'm going to let y'all have this for a little while, and then I'll throw it out to the collective, maybe over the weekend, for them. For them to have it. But you're going to sit and marinate with this for a little while, okay? And then I will release it maybe and let them have it. Okay, so this is what they're saying. Knowing where one's true identity and allowing life through a storm, cleanse the divine masculine energies, us in the world, to be honest with this, and that's in me and with anybody else. In order for us to get this grip off of this material thing and how we're seeing things physically, these things have got to come along to knock that sucker out your hand. Like I went back and I re-reviewed the one that she told me about it. It's got to happen. We got a death grip on this stuff. Us, even in this, we got death grip on the stuff that we believe in. We got a death grip on our own philosophy and ideologies on stuff, or how things is going to happen because based on things. And in order for them to really be able to get that thing out of our system, it's got to be a ripping up. I'm seeing them showing me like a tree, and it's getting this storm and this wind is going 80 miles per hour, and it's ripped this old tree that's been there for hundreds of years. And I'm seeing all this roots and all this water, which will be spiritual, like they say SUWV, talk about rain down on me, let your spirit do rain on me, hey, rain down on me. In order for that to happen, you got to have that rain, that torrential downflow, that's still spirit, that's still blessings, still blessing you in the midst of the storm, uprooting this tree. This tree to me could represent everything. Ancestral beliefs. This is the Booker way. This is the Jackson way of doing things. All that stuff has got to get uprooted and started back over again. And to learn from that point is, it said, in our divine masculine energies, learning patience and endurance and hardship and discomfort through it all. That's why what you all, I'm going to do for my tier 3 people, I am going to give you all a meditation. Spirit has told me to say, give you some survival tips as to what to do. And the other one I had given you all, which was great reference that I had gotten from another site that was talking about how to survive the retrograde. The tier 3 people, instead of class, the classes which we're going to do is learning how to be mindfulness, some mindfulness practices in class that's going to help us to stay grounded. So it's us being able to ground in our breathing, doing some other things. So I'll let you all know what that will be. I got 3 activities, I think, Spirit, I'm seeing the number 3, that wants me to work with you all on. So we will be working on that too as well. So this is what the divine, they want them to do with this divine masculine energies, okay? In the divine masculine energies. Next thing we have here wants us to, let's see what the divine masculine is currently thinking. Clear. So that's what he wants us to understand. Okay. Currently with the divine masculine, what is he thinking? Yeah. Okay, dokie. So for the divine masculine energies here, we got judgment. Some of us, the divine masculine energies, has got to be able to find peace. I'm seeing these doves coming out of the sacral energy or the root. Some of us has got to, again, I still see that sexuality because it's about the divine feminine. So again, what we have to do is, again, find peace. find peace in our sexuality, who we are as divine masculine energies, and be able to find. Some of us are not okay with the idea of sex, the whole totality of it. We got to find peace in it, understanding the power that we house, even as females, in the masculine role energies that we house, of how we can be able to use that power to be able to manifest things through the power of the yoni, how we can be able to do those things, and how we can clear things through the yoni, or that sacral, how we'll be able to, in a sacral, we are able to manifest, how we could be able to have dynamic connections with people. We've got to be able to make peace with that. And a lot of us is not being able to do that. And that's what about the sexuality would be. It's about who I am, who I identify in my body, and how I am harnessing that power to utilize that in the world. Okay. So it's a thing of peace, judgment on ourselves, judgment on the roles that we have as being a female or a male. Okay. That is the thing in which, again, that we got to understand. It's not about how we present ourselves. It's about how we identify who we are as our namesake, who I am as Bertina, housed into a female body. How am I expressing who I am in my uniqueness in that form or in that way? That's what we're talking about. For the next thing here is earth. Okay. So I'm looking at here, and this looks like a snake charmer. Okay, how am I in my DMness, DM energies? How am I portraying myself out into the world? Now, this looks like, to me, when I look at this looks like two things. It looks like a belt, and it looks like also like it's a film, like a film strip. What it tells me is that, again, in our divine masculine energies, how are we portraying ourselves in the divine masculine energies as well? So how are we taking those energies and we're actually showing ourselves to the world? This is very important, especially what we're talking about in our emotional, because some of us been acting like, according to this to me is like a snake charmer. We've been playing the flute, putting on the act, being like Piper, like R. Kelly, calling the people on in. Excuse me about that. That's why he called himself the Piper, because he's like, I charm the people in, and then look what the hell he doing behind the scenes. Sorry if you love R. Kelly, God bless you. But again, I'm gonna say, just like Mom said, don't kill the messenger. Just stick with the message. Very talented in his talent, making of songs. As well, excuse me, I'm gonna do this up here for you, so we can get this together. Okay, excuse me, because he's running low. My light here. Okay. Yeah, very talented gentleman. I will say that. But he said a couple of things that happened to him when he was young, that caused him to, in some ways, get into the point where he wanted to be revenged. It's like, hey, I wasn't treated right as a child, and so that, I'm gonna make darn sure that people that come behind me, I'm gonna do the same thing. Instead of, sometimes I find it very fascinating. I talked to my mom about that too. It's like I find a lot of people, when they're in abusive situations and things have happened to them, instead of them saying, you know what, because it happened to me, I'm gonna make darn sure it don't happen to the other person. A lot of times they go right on in there and follow that same daggone pattern. And then, so if somebody was a pedophile and messing with you, then you go ahead and you do the same thing and back in return. Rarely have I seen, and I don't know if that's the psyche of the human, where they go through there and it's like, okay, you know what, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to make a conscious choice not to follow suit in doing that. But again, like I said, the Piper, calling in people by this facade that you are doing, playing the flute. Now I'm seeing also here, this looks like a belt, which lets me know also, to me, some things you got to tighten your belt on. You got to know you tighten your belt on things, which you got to gird things, which means, to me, it happens around your solar plexus. You got to stand more into your identity of who you are. You got to tighten that up. You might be a little too loose, might be too much revealing, too much on the sexuality in the wrong way, instead of catching these people. Okay, say true. Instead of you actually doing it in a way to understanding that sex your sexuality or the act of sex is more sacred to you. I'm seeing here, this is the next card here in the emotions of the divine masculine energies here. Actions, like I say, he's a man eater, something like that. Whatever it is, man eater, eating hearts out, or eating your own heart out. Okay, with this. A lot of self-sabotaging, a lot of self-sacrifice, and they saying there's a lot of SSS doing here. Sacrificing the self-images, anything that's got the self in there, being selfless. Okay, very good. So all these things that they saying is going on with the divine masculine, eating out his own heart in the process. Maybe even feeling at the same time I'm feeling I'm forking the road that he feels like with the divine masculine energies, with the divine feminine energies, is causing her, even on the 3D things, to eat her own heart out with the circumstances that's going on with the divine masculine energy. So this is something that's going on as well. So it's got a lot of female here things, which lets me know there's a lot of emotional things that the divine masculine, they say the emotional turmoil that the divine masculine is actually going on and is getting uprooted right now at this time. Speaking of emotions, let's look and see about, let's do emotional check-in and see what's going on with the divine masculine. Okay, what's going on with the divine masculine? Oh, okay. So emotionally, he is then gaining confidence. He's really gaining confidence to want to go ahead and make this call. I call it like the fool's journey card, where he wants to really take that dive forward and just leap right on into it. I see he got red on, just be grounded and rooted into it and feel self-assured, courageous, and bold. He does feel that, okay? At the same time, where he's at his board, he's waiting on divine time, and he's just like us, like, when it's gonna kick in, when they gonna kind of come on and save me from this situation, when they gonna save me from this situation as well. And the divine masculine also feels in his feelings that he's very grateful for the growth that he has had. He's very grateful in some ways for the experience. And we're talking about this going on, and that's true because there's been growth. He's at the beginning with these lotus flowers, maybe say, hey, everybody else can't see. I can say that with my divine masculine energies. Maybe nobody else can see, but there has been massive strides in growth that has happened and occurred within me. And so again, I'm trying to gain this confidence right where I am. I'm gaining confidence where I am. I'm seeing also, again, I'm bored because I'm like, hey, it looked like I'm gone in my divine masculine energies. I'm going through the same daggone stuff over and over again that I've been on before. I'm still working. I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do. I feel myself elevating, but at the same time, I would like to see some actual manifestation. Just keeping it 100 in a 3D where it's saying you have done the work, you have shifted like a diploma. Some saying I'm graduated or something in my divine masculine energies, because I'm waiting and I'm waiting on the clock. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm putting in the work, but at the same time, I'm trying to say it's interesting. He's got his back towards everything. I'm at the wall. Some of us feel like, again, the divine masculine energies, I'm hitting the wall. It's like, okay, what's going to be next? I'm turned away from all this other stuff, these distractions. I'm really concentrating on this, but at the same time, becoming apathetic, like they said, and getting jaded and being uninterested in what's up. But at the same time, in my divine masculine energies, I can say that too. I'm very grateful for the growth. I'm grateful for the things in the nourishment, the things that's been feeding my body, feeding my soul, spirit, mind, and body in this process. And so I'm very appreciative of the people, the new friendships that I made, the new connections I've made in this, the new knowledge I've made, the heightening of my gifts, the new gifts that have became online, the new understanding about things and processes of how life is as a human. So all of those things, if I look at my DMness and I look into the world, these things I can say I am grateful for in the material things. I've seen things come, I've seen things go, and I'm still appreciative of that. So that's what it would say in the divine masculine energies as well. When we're talking about what's actually going on with the divine masculine and their world, let me see what's going on with that. Whoa. This Sean, what's happening here? Okay, all right. I'll talk to him about that later. He won't give away something. Y'all gonna have some real nice things at this 6/6 event. Some real nice giveaways. Got somebody doing a journal that's going to give away. Got a journal person for, again, for couples and talking and being able to communicate. Angel is going to give for the 6/6 event. She's going to give away her book, and then for the people who are on the who participate in the 6/6 event, she's going to give two books. No, she's not going to give. She's going to do a special where you get two of her books for $20 and free shipping. Very nice. And also, I am going to give a MAT trauma session that I'm going to give away. And then also, it looks like Sean wants to give something away too. So you got some real good things for the raffle, the giveaways as well. So that is one thing in order for you to participate, but you got to put your name in there. I got to figure out how I'm gonna do that. I should be able to do it like I did last time, the raffles and stuff like that. So the many times you put in, it's got to be a change too. Okay, I found out about that. Anyway, back on that, but you got great stuff coming in for that one. Okay, it says karma is a bitch. I finally got mine. A lot of these things is again that I don't know why spirit is telling me these stuff don't stink. But that's kind of the way it was things. Some of them just thought that, hey, I'm gonna keep on doing in my divine masculine energies. The same stuff I've been doing. I'm not going to change. And then now with what's going on with the storm, these hard lessons, I'm not going to say that the karma or karmic things are ones in which, again, what we think of the infinite thing. We're talking about karma. Karma come along in order to understand that the energy that you're putting out, that you got to fix it because the way it's coming back in. And so that's where the karma comes in because of the energies that you're putting out there and how that needs to be reset so it can put you on the true path that you're supposed to be. So this divine masculine is getting this and understanding energies, is understanding that it's some things the what they say, the roosters are now coming home to roost. Okay. Next one, I'm still trying to find myself. The divine masculine says he feels like he's still trying to find himself in this situation. Find out who he truly is. It's about identity. It says there's identity crisis with this divine masculine, the divine masculine energies as to who he is and how he is in the world. I'm trying to do the honorable thing. Said that before, that came out in the cards about that came out more so in the divine feminine energies, which we know if this is a male, this is also causing this conflict where I'm staying in there because as a divine masculine in the world, we're supposed to be, it's been beat into our heads that in the world we have to do things. It's an honor system, everything. It's an honor system. I'm gonna trust you on your honor system. Being honorable is something that's really in this world, looking out for others, putting other people's needs is the honorable thing. No, that's not really the honorable thing. And you think about 3D, honorable thing is when I really honor myself. Okay, that is it. Am I good enough for you? Divine masculine energies is questioning themselves to see, are they actually good enough for you? And not even that, if we go into identity, I would say that also is it good enough for the world, the way I present, even with my uniqueness, my way of doing things. Am I still at the end of the day going to be good for you? And my family and upbringing are a bigger factor than I realize. Again, that's why they showed me that tree when it's being uprooted. I told you about that. I felt like it's some ancestral things that's in it. I talked about this on this channel as well, as far as how some of them, it has nothing to do with you. Stop taking it personally. Some of them they got to run that family program they showing me like them old things. My dad had like a old track reel, those things, and like it just keep on playing. It's got all this on one side. It used to be, I think that's the same thing. You got two reels, you got one that's empty and you got one that's on there. Dad showed me the old one. That thing broke my back bringing it. I don't know if it caused something. Anyway, that thing was heavy as hell. So anyway, you got two reels he's showing me. So you got one reel that's empty and you got one reel that's got all that tape on it. So now you got to wait until that one reel transfers over to that other reel that's empty. And sometimes, you know, it looked like it was just like you be watching that sucker, like it's like watching water boil, you know, for a long time. You know, it take a while. You just sitting there looking at it, say, when is it gonna start bubbling? And so that's the same thing there as well. So you taking transferring from one reel, them old time reels, to the other side. That's just like with the family dynamic. Until all of that stuff gets out of their system and transfers over there to the other side, then that side is clear. It could go right back to the source of which it belongs to. This is what we're working on. So that's why I say a lot of times some of this stuff that's going on with the divine masculine energies has nothing to do with you as a person or the counterpart that's waiting for them to kind of get over whatever it is. I can see it say, get over it. You know, my biological clock is ticking, or whatever it is. Your twin flame thing is like, okay, there goes the clock aspect, but that's where we are. So the next thing when we're talking about with that is connection for the modern world. So now let's look and see what's happening in the world. So the divine masculine and its energies again here seems like it's good vibes, trying to really stay in good vibes. I think this good vibes is helping him, the divine masculine energies, to be okay with the world, you know, although things might be crumbling down there, but you're trying to, again, if you keep in that good vibrations, hopefully one thing, it over tricks the system of, you know, everything is going down in flames. So if I concentrate on that, that's one thing. Also, the divine masculine energies, we said about this artificial again, about this image he's got in his emotions, not being true to who he is in his emotions. He's wearing a mask again in the emotions too. It's being artificial. Bearer of gifts. Okay, interested the way it's dressed there. We got that bearer of gifts. Trying to be one in the world that we're saying about the divine masculine energies is something that I want to be a contribution. I want to contribute something. Okay. I want to be a gift to the world, even in my uniqueness, the way I show up. Because I'm looking at this young man here that's got makeup on, it's got the flowers on as well. And even in my uniqueness, to me, it's like, okay, being okay with the skin I am, being okay that for me, I'm more emotional. So if you look at the male aspect of it, of housing the divine masculine energies, or being divine, take it off, being divine, they have to learn how to be able to house both. And sometimes on the outside, where people view them and they do house that divine feminine stuff, you know, according to society, or you being soft, or you're not being manly enough, you know, and there goes that identity crisis that they're talking about, that they're going through. This, I think I'm going to title this identity crisis. Okay, the storm is coming in to break up this identity crisis. Okay, storm. I'm gonna put down two words: storm and identity crisis. Okay, because when I look at this picture, to be honest with you, you know, and this picture here is like, okay, what does this person identify with? They're fluid, a, asexual. I'm not identifying as a man. I'm not identifying as a woman. I'm just there. You know, I'm just identifying with the clothes. I love the makeup. I love my mustache still. I love the flowers on my head. I love the floor, the garb that I have that looks almost like a robe. So those things of understanding is like I house and I embody both. And this is where the divine masculine energies got to get understanding. It does not for you to, according to outside, you got to stand. It's like you got to stand on one side. Either you with us, the divine masculines, or you over here with the divine feminines. And understanding being divine is about, the name of the game is about being both. Okay. So you got artificial, and we got this bleeding heart again. Okay. Bleeding heart. This one came up in this card here about the actions. So again, you got to take actions on this heart thing here. Bleeding is hurting. It's hurting the divine masculines being in a situation that's being uncomfortable, that they know that they are not really truly identifying with what they want or what's the thing that they actually desire of their hearts to be, or to the situation to actually be in, whether it's with their cohort or getting out the situation or being with whomever they are in these jobs or whatever like that. It's like it's bleeding them. It's causing a bleeding heart. Okay. So now when we're talking about the connection What's going on with the connection as far as this one here? So the connection, how is this now? What's happening with the divine masculine energies? Let's look at the angel cards here. You got engagement in reverse, which means it can go two ways. Again, right, really the emphasis about being able to engage with the counterpart, which is be the divine feminine energies. That can be within. It's like, you know what, in order for me to really get out of this situation, I've got to go more deeper into my spirituality, which is within myself, because that's what's the one thing that's going to help me to really understand. So I've got to start engaging with myself, with the divine feminine energies within myself, to see what is the answer, how to go about this. It's also in, you're talking about into the world, the 3D, the divine masculine energies wants to engage more with the divine feminine energies as well. We got here in reverse for this one. It's time to go. This is very emphasized there, because the spiritual and the spirit and the divine feminine energies is leading. Spirit is saying it's time to go. Let's go. You need to follow me. Follow the trail. The trail here has got stars and stardust here. That means the spiritual is like, I'm leading you and telling you what to do. Here you go again. Here's the thing that the DM does, like a dock of the bay. We on this dock again. We waiting for our ships to roll in. You know, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time, watching ships roll away. So you was like sticking on the dock of the bay, wasting time. So you wasting time. I think I did there before about the dock of the bay. Here it is. You wasting time by just sitting there. You got to do some work. That's why I told you all before that. I see that according to it. I'm just going to say it like it is, because that's how I am. That's, I always say, Renee, for my middle name stands for I'm keeping it real. Because again, that one I seen out of all of my videos that I have plugged out here lately is about the lowest viewed one. But that lets me know, when I'm looking at it, that a good percentage of you all do not want to do the work. I'm just saying about action. Action speaks louder than words. So again, I told you, Spirit said we got to put in the work. You put in the work, it's going to back you up, and it's going to support you, and it's going to change things. If you're in that mindset, you want to go straight on into knowing about, is your things going to come true, or the divine feminine is blocking union and she giving up on those things. Again, that also lets you know where your mindset is there too as well. You need to put in the work. Now, those of you all that's doing that, I'm not talking to you. I'm preaching to the converted. But I'm saying, as a reader, when I look outside, everybody should be looking at, and they tell you that even when I'm in this coaching thing about your brand and what people are interested in. But to me, when I look at it and I see it, that's very concerning to me, because that lets me know that, hey, you're not interested in doing the work, because you're not even watching the video that's about that. That's something, again, that's something that we have to watch. And my channel is a percentage of females that's watching that. So that goes back to my theory again that I said about it again, that a lot of the females that are in there with the divine feminine energies that are pretty much housed, a lot of us think that we know it all and we don't want to be taught anything new. That's why I say the divine feminine energies are the ones who are blocking the union, because you're not open enough to receive anything new. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to continue to say that again. Feminine energies, and especially house, if you're a female and really say, I'm pretty much identified with the feminine energy, divine feminine energy is me, then hence there go the problem. Okay, so we have to deal with and get that spirituality together as far as how is it showing up into the world. Okay, so now the next thing is that we got a message in the bottle here. The divine masculine has gotten messages, several messages, Spirit is telling me, in a bottle, letting them know that, hey, it's been in very unique ways. It's been in ways that is different and unique to them. For us that's in the awakened state, or those of us that's more in the spiritual things, we see it. To them, might be odd. It's like, I'm seeing numbers. Why I'm seeing 1111? Why I'm seeing 333? Why when I look around and I'm driving, I'm seeing license plates that's actually like, it seems like it's speaking to me. To them, that's out of the box. And some of the things have been really out of the box. They might be dreaming about some things. These things, the messages have come to the divine masculine in a very unique way. The divine masculine wants this engagement with the divine feminine energies because, again, there's no place like home. It feels, it knows that the divine feminine energies has been leaving the light on for the divine masculine, saying he's going to return home. That goes back to that lighthouse. Whoever's been the one that's been stably staying there to say, hey, that's all right. Deuces, you can do that exploring on your own. You can have that exploring. I ain't doing that. I'm staying right here because I know this is what I want. I know this is what divine promised me. So this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and just kind of get myself together and get me ready for it to be the highest form of love, whichever way that's going to be able to show up as. Again, for the divine masculine energies, they saying I'm here, but I'm going to leave that doorway open. Like they say, what's the song he said? I'm gonna leave the door open. 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 Okay, if you're gonna leave the door open, then leave the door high. Because I'm gonna wait until you come on through. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Leave the door open. Y'all love that song. So again, you're getting right now, the divine masculine is understanding that engagement is needed because he's getting some answers to some why, which is helping him to be able to stand on an actual platform. A platform means I definitely know what I am standing for. I got my purpose. I got my statement. Just like I said before, I always say when I see that, I think about the pageant, in which when you have the pageant there, be quiet. When I have the pageant there, that is one in which, they go around and the people with the United, if you want to be in the pageantry, and most of the time they're like, what's your platform? And they say, well, I'm for autism. And I'm looking for I'm standing here for other people to bring awareness to autism so people will know how to be able to deal with it. I want them to be educated. I want them, across the board, like even with the police, knowing how to deal with people who are autistic, because again, if you're minorities, you should know how to handle that, not put them with the rest of regular people, how you could be able to talk to them. If anything happens, you run across one that seems like they're in some kind of trouble or anything like that, or they're distressed, how you can be able to do that. Okay, that's their platform. So I'm bringing awareness wherever, like in schools. I want them to learn how to be able to educate our people with autism in a different way than just everybody else. Everybody's on different spectrums. That is true. And that's their platform. That every time when you see me as Miss America, my platform is that. Oh, I already know what she talking about. She's that. That's the same thing with the divine masculine energies. You got to get to the point that, hey, when I see him, I already know what, or see her, I already know what she's about. Her thing is, in my divine masculine energy, she's about awareness. She's trying to bring keys to the twin flame journey. She wants them to understand that we both share the load of responsibility. It ain't just falling on no divine masculine energies, divine feminine energies. We're both at fault about what is going on. It's to stop it these days to start talking about it's always the divine masculine energies as in the male, that we divine feminines are not understanding that we too have some things that we got to clear up as well. Yes, that's my platform here lately, because Spirit has been saying we have not been understanding that too long. We have been identifying roles to go specifically energies to the divine masculines or just to the divine feminines, but we are not taking onus for the stuff that we are responsible for and what we bring into the table. And it's time for us to stop saying that and being all light in 5D, but we ain't getting down to the meat and potatoes as to what it is that we got to clear up within ourselves. Okay, that would be my divine masculine energies platform to say, and that's what I'm presenting out there into the world, and that's what I'm identifying with. And I want to engage with the people, engage with myself, to be able to bring that together between my divine feminine energies and divine masculine energies, instead of me stop playing like that's not really truly how I feel, and that's not how I've been truly betraying myself, to say I know what I believe through source helping me to say how we can be able to get in union. And that's one of the ways we got to really take that hardcore look at to see what it is that we got to clear up in order for us to get that. That would be one that I would say, as a female, as my divine masculine energies is showing up, that needs said that we have to work on. Okay, I seem like everything been on 48 clear. So let's look and see about us that's watching here. What's the things that spirit want us? Remember, always solution. That's always has been my my contractual thing with spirit. Here it is. They said they want us to understand. Return to return to nature. To me, again, for the you that's watching here, get back to what's naturally you, not that artificial stuff, because already the divine masculine has shown here earlier, he's dealing with a lot of artificial sweetness. Okay, well, is and you don't hear too much people talk about that too much, but sweet and low, or whatever it is that it is. What's the other one I used to be wearing down there? Is equal. Any of those other kind of stuff. It's like, get back to nature. That's the same thing that we had with this COVID. I've seen that has happened with us. A lot of us came back to get into natural eating. If I had not had COVID, I would not have ventured and said, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to become a flexitarian, where I eat more of the vegetables and I've said vegetarian things, not all the way vegan, because I do cheese and the dairy, so that's a cheat right there. But again, for me to get into that, I would never have done it and said, okay, I'm gonna dive into it and try it, where I do 80% of that in my diet and 20% of meat. I never would have done that. Maybe eventually it might get scrapped all the way. And I know many of my friends would like to see that actually happen. But right now, at this time, this is where I am. So I have to accept this is where I am at this time. And I'm not going to be feeling guilty about that at this time, because this is where I am. Okay. So now at this time, with that being that said, it's about us getting back to nature. Again, back to the bad things, the storm that came. COVID was the storm. But in order for me to change my eating habits, it would not have happened unless the storm that came, which was called COVID, the pandemic. Shut it down. A lot of times things wasn't available to all of us. Now we see at the stores, we walk in there, people have all different types of now plant-based the things available. Wasn't there before COVID. Before, you used to have to find and say, okay, now I gotta go over here to this tasteless aisle. This food ain't tasting like nothing. Now, unless you go to Whole Foods always have stuff for you. But now you can go to the regular market and you can find those things. That's what we're talking about when we're saying about the storm. Return to nature. How we getting forced from things of those nature, those things that happen in the world that forces us to get back to the natural things. By things, less wearing makeup. Now this coming as is. Hey, I don't need it. Hey, ain't nobody seeing me but people in the house. I don't work outside. I'm doing remote, so I don't need so much of makeup. Hey, that's saving on that. So when I do wear the makeup, hey, it's a special occasion, that I'm wearing the makeup that make myself pretty or feel good at that time, or whatever it is, because I just want to accentuate the beauty that I already have. You start learning to be okay with the skin that you're in. Again, how did that happen? Because of things that happened because of the storm named COVID pandemic. Would have never had done that. That's why we have to sometimes, the bad things have to happen in order to push us into our good. Okay, so it's return back to nature, return back to all that stripped down, all the way bare. I think about this showing me Marvin Gaye, Marvin Gaye showing what's that? He sung the song "What's Going On," and they stripped down all the instrumentals, and I mean it was just really beautiful. How he sound. I'll see if I can find. I'll put on the community tab too. And that how beautiful he sound. You like purist. I mean, ain't no auto tunes on that. How beautiful his sound is. His voice sound. This is pure. Sometimes you don't need to add all that stuff. Just basic stuff is very pretty. To to just get down just to the basics. And this is what we're talking about. Okay, as we wrap it up here with this one, we have here with these some things for you as a divine feminine here, what can help with the divine masculine energies here, which is I attract what is meant for me. That again is getting back to nature. That's not asking for all that extra flash and dash and bling kind of stuff. It's down to what I am, to be that magnet. I attract what is meant for me. Also, and that'll help the divine masculine energies get that. Unwavering faith. The universe is taking care of the details. Just trust and know that even through, like they say, the hardships, the endurance, whatever's happening, discomfort, that again is patience. And things are happening underneath the surface, like with the lotus flower. Understand also, and these are pretty pictures. Let me let me even show this to you too as well. Okay. Ooh, 333. It's time is 333 on my thing. I attract what is meant for me. Magnetic. Become a magnet for what is meant for you. Okay. Next one is unwavering. The universe is taking care of the details. Don't worry about it. Okay. I know during these times it's kind of easy said and done, but this is something we have to do. Sunny side. Grab your coat and grab your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. I'll say again, so I will not let past challenges rob me of opportunities to be happy in this future. So you leave all that other stuff. They say the coat and hat, direct your feet to the doorstep, and just going to just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. That means point yourself in the direction that you need to be going. And then also, did I show that card? Okay. And then also wishes. I trust what is meant for me will show up at the right moments in my life. And that's how we have to do. It's just a thing of trust. That's why I said getting into your bliss, getting into what you need to be doing at this time is a nice distraction for what is actually going on, from what's actually going on. It's a nice distraction from that. And so that's why you should be able to, you should focus in. That's why you say the mission. You shouldn't be up there telling, oh my God, the mission. It's a reason for why they gave you that hand in hand, because it's going to make you happier. It's going to give you something to focus in on. And it's also going to help you to not focus in so much on what the divine masculine energies is doing. Okay. This was fun. I'm going to make sure that you all get this on your Patreon. You all will have this first, too, and not the other ones. And I will probably release them on the weekend. They'll get this on Saturday. Okay, so that'll be something that they could be able to kind of chomp their meats and their hooks into. And as far as that, but I'm going to give this to you all first. Okay. All right, then. So as always, stay uplifted. I like when you all kind of help me to put the cords up. Okay. And it makes it go faster. I'm glad I did this in order too. It makes it go faster. Okay. Okay. Just to break your feet to the sunny side of the street. Okay, if this does make it onto them, which it probably is, don't forget about the 6/6 event. We are a week. If this, I'm putting this on other people, but anyway, we're literally a week away from the event that's happening on 6/6. So you want to make sure that you are definitely a part of that. I'll put that again in the community tab, especially for that. Please make sure you check me out on my podcast called Divinely Speaking Unplugged, where I give you keys to just being divine, period. And I put it in the way in which is not for just twin flames only, but it's just for regular people out there that just want help and guidance about how to be able to live more of a spiritual life as well. If you're interested in, if you want to get your own past life regression session or your metaphysical anatomy technique, you could go to AshantiWellnessCenter.com to get one there. That was the MAT is where we talk about what things emotionally that's happening or in pain in your body, and I help to work with you to heal those things. Don't forget about it. If you like what I'm doing and giving these exclusives to the Patreon, which they are getting this first before you all will, make sure you sign up for www.patreon.com, Rays of Sunshine. Okay, so you can be a part of that. We start this Sunday, will be at 7 p.m. Central, will be our first community chat where we'll talk together and seeing about what's happening with the energies and, how my assistants can be able to help with them. And we're just going to talk about various subjects that whatever spirit tells me to kind of tap into that. If you have anything as far as maybe interested in being on the playground experience or anything that you want to talk to or share about, maybe you have some services, you can always reach me at divineunisource11@gmail.com as well for that. And also I'm trying to see, is there anything else? I did that, Divine Unisource. How many do I got up here for that one? Hold on a second. And then also, remember, if you want to have a reading with me, remember the month of June, I will be doing the 1717, which is the GPS, $17.17, which is the GPS reading, just to locate and see what's happening with your cohort, understand their heart, and seeing where they are as far as on this journey. So I'll start that. That'll be the 1st of June as well. And as always, remember to click like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Please make comments below because that's the way that other people are being able to find me. Of course, like I say, it's all right. You can keep me to your little self. You don't want anybody to know about this great stuff that I'm having over here. But again, it's for the collective. I like for my message to get out to as many people as possible because I'm coming from a different aspect as well, and which source is telling me to really get out there into the community, and people need to really understand that right now it is a equal balance of ownership as far as in the twin flame community. That is just not the ownership on the divine masculine in the male body, but it's also the divine masculine in the female body that's got to get to work, and the divine feminine energies has got to get herself on board and understanding her role as being the leader as well, and to go ahead and to accept that. And it does not belong to just one specific gender. It belongs to both genders as far as how we're going to do the work and really truly create union. And we got to break the mold as far as out there in the matrix or the programming that has been put on us through society, and create our own. That's what the reason why we are put here, and that's the reason why we are put here as light workers. So please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to this channel so you can get updates. Don't forget about the playground experience. It's now moved to its own channel as well. It's now on its own channel too as well. So make sure that you are looking at, or say the playground experience too is on its own channel. I know I put it as ticker taper as well. So that'll be on Fridays at 7:40 Central Time. So check us out on there, and I will put that again. I got to remind myself to put to create it, do it a day before, so you all can get an understanding when it's going to be showing up for you all for the playground experience. All right, then, as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste, namago. Love you. Until next time, I'll be talking to you real soon. Thank you, my Patreon people. Look, love you. All right, then, enjoy and getting this exclusive before the rest of them do. All right, then, until next time.